Thank you. I know you guys are tired, right? We didn't have a break. Some people already left the room. We have some problems here. You want to go home and sleep, right? Maybe that's it. But indulge me for a moment. What happened here is very important. I tell my students, I have students who are majoring in English and students who are majoring in other professions like accountants, fashion design, and I tell my students, if you had a university degree plus good English, your life is going to be blessed. So you can make much more money because you become more valuable to the company. So what happened here today is an exercise to improve your English. I noticed that most of people who use the podium today, they're comfortable in English. They are not nervous. This is the first stage of becoming a good speaker. Because if you're nervous, you're going to stay here trembling, your words not come out, and this is very hard, right? So I noticed most of them are comfortable, but you can also improve. So I'm going to tell you something. For example, if I come here and just start reading something, looking at the screen here, not looking at you, you're going to feel my speech is boring. But if I'm talking and looking at your eyes, eye contact, right? So you feel that I'm talking to you. This is make a connection with the audience. This is so important. For example, instead of me staying here, just not moving, just kind of robot, this is not making a connection. But when I walk in the stage, look in your eyes, speaking to you, you feel the connection. This is important. As a teacher, I noticed this. When I start teaching, I wasn't like I am today. But because I learned those things, I start applying, and I'm becoming a little bit better. For example, if you cannot see my hand, for somehow I put in the pocket, this is kind of a weird. People trust you less when you don't speak and you hide your hands. This is why, for example, becoming all the time here under the podium, like your hands on the pocket, you're going to be a little bit of a weird speaker. So I want to congratulate all the students who took the podium today, because it takes a lot of courage. I know that. But this is the first stage, so you have much more to learn. And you are the kind of students that I wanted to meet in the English corner, because you are the ones who love to speak English. You are the ones who put in some efforts to do it. So I'm very glad to be here today. I kind of wanted to keep doing this. Practicing is going to make perfect. So after you finish school, keep practicing your English skills, because usually happens when the student graduate, they go home, your parents doesn't speak English, your brother doesn't speak English, you stop practicing. No, keep reading books in English, keep watching movies in English, find friends that you can practice, and keep this skill for life, because it's gonna bless your life, just like me. For example, I couldn't be here in China if I didn't speak English. So my brother could not come here. He has 2 university degrees. He has 1 more university degree than me, but he cannot come here because he doesn't speak English. So this is one skill that's going to bless your life. So keep learning. I'm very happy to be here. I got an invitation from him. So thank you. Keep me inviting me. I love to come to activities like this.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Hello, cool girl. You said you look crazy, think you
Zhi Muyan, a freshman now studying in economics. Today I want to share Wuthering Heights with you. Firstly is an introduction of the author Emily Bronte. She was an English novelist at point. Best remembered for her only novel, Wuthering Heights, now considered a classic of English literature. Emily was the third eldest.
感谢1号选手的精彩演讲，下面有请2号选手，请3号选手做准备。
Hello everyone, I'm Gao Xiaoyi, a student from English major. Before we begin, let's think about some questions about reading. The first question is, how often do you read a book? A week, 1 month, or 1 year?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Qian Mingyu. I'm a junior student in the School of Science. I'm from Information and Computational Science major. I like reading useful and helpful books in my spare time. First, thanks to the judges for giving me the opportunity to stand here and speak again. Maybe my pronunciation is not good, so to make you understand what I said, I added some notes. Last time, I introduced the Tao Te Ching from 4 aspects. Now, today I will introduce myself from 4 aspects by reading Tao Te Ching. First, do what you believe is right. A probationary member of the Communist Party of China, and I was more outgoing than before. I make many friends, whether
Hi everyone, my name is Zhao Shu. I come from School of International Education. I think it is my honor to have speech at here. Before I start, I want to introduce myself first. As you can see, I come from
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I am Li Sixian from English class 242, and my English name is Elena. Today, the book I want to share with you is Dan Rhoda Address Book, which is the Red Address Book, written by Sophia Landenberg. The book is generally divided to 4 parts. The first one is the author, and the second part is the brief introduction to the book. And the third part is the concept plot of the book. The last part is some comments of the book. First, let's take a look at the author. Here's the picture of the author. Her name is Sophia Landenberg, and she was born in Sweden. Her first self-published novel, The Red Address Book, which I'm talking about today, stunned Scandinavia when it was first published and became a news book across Europe after selling rights in 32 countries. And next is a brief introduction to the book. Doris, which is the main character of the book, she was 96 years old and she lives all alone in her apartment in Scotland. There are only two things left in her life: being taken care of by weekly nurses and FaceTime with her great niece Jenny, who lived far away in San Francisco. After an accident, Doris is admitted to the intensive care unit, the ICU. Jenny comes to take care of her, but to find a dusty red leather notebook when she is organizing Doris's apartment. The red address book is full of names that have been crossed out, and Doris has never mentioned it before. Doris's secrets and regrets that she has never been hiding are now revealed. This part is about the concept plot of the book. Doris, which is the main character of the book, was really a famous model who worked for Chanel in Paris when she was young. And it was also then she met a guy named Alan from America. They fell in love with each other immediately at first sight, and they spent every happy moment with each other. 4 months later, for some reasons, Alan just disappeared suddenly. And since then, Doris has been drawn in great sadness. Several years later, Doris received a letter from Alan. It was sent from America. It was Alan asking Doris to come to live with him in America. Doris quickly packed her suitcase and headed to America. But to find Alan was already married to another woman. It turned out that it took almost 2 years for the letter to get to Doris, and Alan thought the letter was lost and they would never meet again. And it was also impossible for Doris to come back to Paris and be a model again, because the Second World War has already begun. And after several decades, and when Doris was already at her 90s, Jenny found Alan's Facebook and asked if Doris wanted to meet Alan again. Doris answered yes with great excitement, and they have been in love with each other for a long time. The second part is some comments of the book. The first one is from Frederick Beckham, the author of A Man Named Avi. He says that the book was written with love, full of sorrow and joy. It is a book that is extremely easy to be loved by all human beings. The second is from Nina George, the author of the Little Paris bookstore. She says that in our life there are only a few books that can be our friends forever. For me, the Red Address book is one of them. The third is from Alison Richman, the author of Velvet Time. The Red Address book is a love letter to human's heart. And the last one is from Venus Gossiper magazine. It says that this is definitely one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking stories I've ever read in a long time. And next I want to share with you a beautiful sentence from the book that really strikes my heartstrings. I wish you enough sunshine to illuminate you every day. I wish you enough rain to let you appreciate the sun more. I wish you enough happiness to strengthen your soul. I wish you enough pain to let you cherish every happy moment in life. Also, I wish you enough encounters to give you a chance to say goodbye often. I think I really like the concept of enough, and it was perfectly and beautifully conveyed throughout the story. And after reading the book, what I really want to say to you is cherish the present and cherish the people that is with you, because you will never know when will your loved ones leave you. And I bought the book here today. I bought it from our school's library, so if you want to read this book after my speech, you can also borrow it. So, thank you so much for your listening, and that's the end of my presentation.
那是日落时候轻轻发出的叹息呀，昨天已经走远了，明天该去哪儿啊？
相框里的那些闪闪发光的我们啊，在夏天发生的事，你忘了吗？
铁道旁的老树下，几只乌鸦叫到嗓音沙哑，却再没人回答。火车呼啸着驶过寂寞或繁华。曾经年轻的人啊，也会想我吗？就回来吧，回来吧，有人在等。
Works such as The Aroma of the Lady in Black and The Phantom of the Opera are well known and been translated into many languages and published. Okay, let's put more attention on this news. It's from the Associated Press in New York. The Phantom of the Opera is closed on Broadway after 35 years. As well known, the four biggest musicals in Broadway are Cats, The Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables, and Miss Saigon. The Les Miserables and The Phantom of the Opera are from France. The Cat is from England, and Miss Saigon is from Vietnam. Why to be closed? The Phantom of the Opera, Broadway's longest running show, is scheduled to be closed in February 2023, the biggest dating yet of post-pandemic in theater attendance in New York. The musical, a feature on Broadway since 1988, weathering recessions, wars, cultural shifts, will play its final performance on Broadway on February 18th, a spokesperson said. After reading it, what I want to say is what a pity. And only focusing on a short interest is killing a goose that they open next. And it's like a box of chocolates you can never tell.
But the sun, he's always sunset and sunrise. When he went down the mountain to collect all the desolate bottles, it was the time when he was burning on the other side of the mountain to spread out the fierce morning glow. Sometimes people just want to be alone for a while. Sadness is also enjoyment. Who can figure out the words? Many things in the world are unspeakable. You can complain about why God has brought so much suffering to this world, or you can beg to eliminate it and enjoy nobility and pride for it. But if you think one more step, you will fall into deep confusion if there is no suffering in the world. Can the world still exist? If there is no stupidity, what is the glory of wit? If you don't have ugliness, how can beauty maintain your luck? If there is no bad,
获得1等奖的同学是7号、12号。 请这2位同学上台演讲，请外教老师 Marcelo 上台颁奖。